Hello and welcome back to the Love in Abu Dhabi show. It is a fine Wednesday afternoon, 12:50 p.m. I am Anika Ellis Baby and with me is
Raneem, former Abu Dhabi resident.
Great. So we've got some insider scoop for you today.
Yes.
Our stories for today are about how Mpox is not the new COVID. So you can rest easy a little bit there.
And actually, last night people spotted a blue supermoon, which is exciting.
Exciting manifestations all in place.
Yes.
We have a very crazy, interesting story about a robot who just helped perform a kidney transplant.
Interesting.
Taking over.
Taking over very much so. And also Abu Dhabi is claiming to be the top spot as the safest city in the world.
Exciting,
Yeah.
exciting news. All good stuff. Okay,
Alright, so tell me about Mpox. What's going on there?
Okay, so as you all know, after COVID, we've had a little bit of a scare streak because
Yeah.
we've got the monkeypox and now the Mpox, which is apparently just another version of monkeypox.
Okay.
So the symptoms are the same. It's just these little pus-filled lesions and flu-like symptoms. Apparently, it can go off on its own because
Okay.
there is no specific vaccine as of now. A few cases have been detected around the world. Apparently, the UK gets a few. It's really it's really becoming an epidemic in Africa.
Okay.
So people are starting to get worried. 2 cases were spotted in the Philippines, but the person had never traveled outside the Philippines. But now the WHO, the World Health Organization, just came forward and they were like, hey, this is it's not a new COVID. There are ways to tackle it.
Okay.
We just need to be a little aware and take preventative measures.
Okay, good. So nothing to be like major cause of concern just yet?
Not yet.
At least maybe not in this region.
Yes.
But I think we have gotten a lot better actually at like trying to prevent these things. Obviously,
100%.
we've learned from COVID.
Yeah.
The UAE in general was so good in terms of like helping to manage COVID when it was a thing. So,
But I do think that we've got a little lax, you know.
yeah, for sure.
Like just today, for example, my colleague was coughing.
Yeah.
And she was like, during COVID, I could never cough like this.
Get away with it.
And I'm just like, but maybe you shouldn't be
Yeah.
coughing out loud that openly.
I mean, yeah, I definitely think, but even now, like if you're like going around and seeing people like wearing masks and stuff, because people still do that. Obviously,
Yeah,
there's still like a little bit of the fear. I don't know. I'm still like I do get a little bit freaked out.
100%. And
know?
also, this is not a very aesthetic disease either
It's
because
very visible.
It's very visible.
Yeah.
So just, practice caution, wash your hands, don't touch your ears, nose, or throat. Use ears, nose, or
If you
lips.
hadn't watched, yeah.
If you haven't washed. So yeah, just be careful.
It's just the basic like sanity methods anyways that we were told to practice in COVID. So nothing
Exactly.
like new there. So stay clean, guys.
Stay clean. Wash your
Yeah.
hands.
Beware of Mpox. But hopefully it won't be like a thing. So we should be good.
But what should be more of a thing is the blue moon, which is our next story.
The blue supermoon.
So a lot of the blue moon was spotted in Abu Dhabi and in Dubai and basically all around the world because
Yeah.
it was a global thing.
It was.
Very beautiful. It's the blue moon. Do you know what the blue moon is?
I do. But do you know it's actually not blue in color?
I learned that from the strawberry moon because I really expected to see a pink moon, but
with like dots in it. So yeah, I was reading about this last week, and it's just like it's a really pretty moon, but it's
Right.
not actually blue. And the name like has been kind of in centuries, like they just decided that it was going to be called that or something. But yeah, no actual color attached to it. But I don't know the astrological meaning behind it, or like what's the significance.
So I knew about the blue moon from that phrase "once in a blue moon," or like I only see you once
yeah.
in a blue moon.
Yeah.
And then I just quickly did like a Google search right before the show.
Yeah.
And I realized that a blue moon is basically when the full moon comes twice a month.
Okay.
Apparently, it's only supposed to come. It only comes once a month, but when it comes twice a month, that's called a blue moon.
Okay. Nice.
So that's
the phrase
fun.
Makes sense.
And I did notice that the moon looked very beautiful.
Yeah, last night, right? Yeah.
And just fun. I think, what are comments? Oh, there's this one very sweet comment I saw on our post. It was the moon last night just illuminated the entire sky. So beautiful. I gazed at the pretty sight for a good time.
That's nice.
That's so cute. I mean,
is
I really
cute.
like these. I really like that in this city we make a big deal about the blue moons and super moons and strawberry moons and red moons, because
Yeah.
it just means people set some time aside to just look up and like appreciate what they're seeing.
Yeah, and reflect. And because the skies here are very clear in general, once you have a nice moon, it's like so obvious. And you can see when
Yes.
you're walking, when you're driving, not so much walking right now, but pretty much while you're driving. And I feel like it's been leading up to the blue moon, because for the past few nights, actually, the moon has been looking super, super nice and like
Indeed.
just
Yeah.
kind of shining extra bright. So, yay.
It's exciting. And we also just posted about the Al Quwa Milky Way, which you can spot only in Abu Dhabi when you're going towards the Al Ain Road. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you go on to Abu Dhabi and check it out.
Cute.
But speaking of once in a blue moon incidents, let's go on to our next story, which I think is so interesting.
Yeah.
A robot has just helped perform a kidney transplant for the very first time.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. I'm just like, a lot of people, a lot of our comments are like, oh, this world, you know, we're going into the have you seen Black Mirror? Have you seen
unknown.
this iRobot?
Yeah.
But the benefits of this are pretty amazing. But would you like to talk about it?
No, honestly, it is super cool. So yeah, basically, like you said, a robot helped perform a kidney transplant for the first time. It was actually in Cleveland Clinic, Abu Dhabi. And it was, you know, the whole robotic system was like very advanced. Basically, the robot was kind of like mimicking the doctor's movements. And then they would do sort of smaller incisions to help assist them. And then it just makes the surgery as a whole apparently less traumatic on the patient. It shortens the surgery time, which is always a plus.
Shortens recovery time
And
too.
recovery time. Okay, there you go. I mean, all in all, I think it's like really great. It's just like, how do we feel about this? I don't know. Yeah, we're there. As a
I mean,
society.
it's just, would you trust a robot with your anesthesiaed body?
Well, I think it's definitely, because I wonder actually the patient who would kind of consent to this happening. Obviously, you feel better knowing the doctor is going to be there as well. Like, it's not fully just like, okay, here you go, we're putting you in a room with a robot. I don't know if I'm brave enough, to be quite honest with you, but at the same time, like, human error does happen. And I think with like robots, there's like no emotion there, there's nothing involved. So
It's just straight
kind
work.
of a gray area.
You know who I think would be okay with this? Like, would be very eager to get into this?
Yeah.
Elon Musk. I don't know why. I just feel like it's just like the first thing I thought of, like first person I thought, I was like, who would be okay with this?
Yeah.
Elon Musk. I think he
Probably.
would be okay with it.
Probably.
I don't know if he would be okay with his own. I think he would be okay with like SpaceX or not SpaceX. What Tesla?
Yeah.
Any of his companies.
Yeah.
Any of their robots just getting into his body and doing their thing. But I
He
mean,
would. I think if for him it's like just to prove that it's like safe and like then he would need to test it out himself actually.
yeah, but it's very interesting. I think we're going towards something that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, so as someone who has gone through a surgery before, I know that shorter recovery times are so much more nicer.
Yeah.
Because you spend a long time recovering, and then that recovery process is so, you need to be so careful, because if you mess up, then you have to go through something else again, and it can be a very tedious,
Traumatic as well on the body.
experience.
Yeah.
But if a robot can make sure that I get lesser recovery time and the level of safety is the level of risk is pretty much the same as when I go to a doctor.
Normal surgery, yeah.
I think why not, you know?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I'm sure this is just the first of many that we're going to be hearing about, especially here. It would be interesting to see like what other types of surgeries we're looking to explore with robots. Obviously, a kidney transplant is a very complicated surgery. Anytime you're doing anything,
and I think
with,
it's
like,
also a
transplant.
time-intensive surgery. Like you need
Probably.
to make sure
As
one's
well, from one to
transplanted.
the other. Exactly. A lot of Grey's Anatomy have taught me that it's a very, very complicated procedure. But like, yeah, I'd be interested to see like what else we would delve into, like how easy or how difficult, and like would they eventually be allowed to just self-perform, do it themselves? I don't know. Let's
Interesting
see.
questions. But I do know that if there's one place it should be tried, it is Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, big
because
time.
we are, after all, like we don't do things unless we know it's completely safe.
Yeah.
Perhaps that explains our next story, which is how Abu Dhabi has been crowned the safest city in the world.
Yay!
Woo!
Abu Dhabi!
And this is the 8th year that we have been declared the safest city in the world.
Oh
So
my gosh.
this is no small feat. I mean, around the world, the stories we hear about the kind of violence, the kind of danger, not just to women, but just in general, religious minorities, everything. So many ridiculous stories, but and then it's definitely a privilege to be able to live in a city like Abu Dhabi, where things are safer and nicer.
Yeah,
do you want to go in
100%.
a little more into the listing?
Yes, so basically, obviously, as we know, Abu Dhabi leads the list with a safety score of 88.2 and the lowest crime rate of 11.8 points.
Fantastic.
Which are crazy numbers, by the way. Like, the disparity is huge, but it's honestly amazing. Abu Dhabi also shines as the top-notch leading healthcare and education systems, two things you obviously want to be like high on. And yeah, they've got amazing healthcare facilities, hospitals, pharmacies, doctors, like the list goes on and on. Obviously, we just saw the surgery that was performed, which was obviously in Abu Dhabi. So it's just all around
I think it says a lot because I think I truly believe that in the power of education.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that obviously if you're going to invest in education means you're investing into the future and building a better youth.
Big time.
And so there's a better understanding of what it takes for a good, fully well-functioning society.
Yes.
And so this just shows that the education model is doing great.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
I agree. No, and like you said, honestly, with everything going on and we're seeing around us, it's just truly a reminder of like how lucky we are to live here. Not just because of like all the things we always see on social media, but just because of the core values that are like instilled like from the get-go.
You grew up in Abu Dhabi, so like what was that like?
Yeah, honestly, I did. I made the move to Dubai later on in life, but I still consider myself a loyal Abu Dhabian. But it's great, honestly. Like Abu Dhabi is just such a cozy, homey, safe is the ultimate word I would use to describe it. Like it's just you really don't have to worry about being afraid to walk at night, going out, coming back. Like wherever you are, like you really do feel comfortable. I think, and there's just like so much to do now. By the way, like it's really not like. When I lived there, it was very much low-key, maybe a little slower.
Yeah.
Now it's literally the epicenter of like everything that's going on, right?
Yeah, there are so many fun events. Like I think you do one about what was it? Oh, there's those
so
Abu Dhabi events. That the thing where they go and sing near the Corniche.
Oh, I don't know.
Saadiat Nights?
Oh, yes. Saadiat Night is a great one. It's called like in the winter time. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Etihad Arena, I think, hosts the most beautiful plays. I think Chicago is coming soon.
Chicago is coming soon.
There was Hamilton a while ago.
Yeah, Bluey. So many good shows are coming.
Oh, Bluey.
Actually.
Yes, Bluey is coming too.
We love it. A lot of family-friendly activities, but also like some fun stuff for all ages. But no, honestly, even lately, I've been like, do I want to make... I don't know, like
you want to move back to Abu Dhabi?
I don't know. There's just something about Abu Dhabi, but maybe not right now. I feel like I want to get my fix of Dubai, and then maybe I'd be like tempted to move back at some point.
I have heard this that Abu Dhabi is a little more for when you are already settled in down and you just want to like live a more peaceful, quiet life. Dubai is more like when you're still making those big moves and hustling and bustling and all of that. But I don't know. I did once meet this editor. I forgot which magazine or newspaper. And she was telling me, she was like, anyone you meet from Abu Dhabi is going to tell you that they like Abu Dhabi. Anyone you meet from Dubai is going to tell you that they like Dubai. And there's
There's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
It just really depends on your personality as well. Like what you like to do and how you want to live your life. Yeah, a big proponent for Abu Dhabi. They've got so much going on. There's literally so much exciting stuff.
Yeah, and here they were top on the list.
Yeah.
I think in notable other mentions were number 5th came Dubai, which is funny because Ajman came number 2.
Oh,
I wouldn't expect that. But interestingly, Ajman has come number 2. Let us know your thoughts on that. Taipei has come in 4th. Doha has come in 3rd, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And interesting.
A lot of UAE actually cities on here as well. Very impressive overall.
Great.
We love that.
Well, on that very prosperous and safe note, that's all from us today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next Wednesday at around 12:45 again. Have a great week and a weekend, and make sure you catch us on the podcast if you listen to us through there, or tune in to our show on Instagram.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe, guys. Bye.